Good evening, Arlington Democrats.
Good evening.
Oh,
You might want to try this one.
okay, how's that? I'm very pleased to be here this evening to introduce my good friend, Peter Fallon, for County Board. Peter is the right candidate for the issues we face in Arlington today. He brings the experience, he knows the issues, and he truly cares about this community. Peter has been an active participant and a leader over the course of 25 years in this county. He has the depth and the breadth. He's worked on the county side a number of committees and commissions, including the Planning Commission. He's been a Civic Association president. With ACDC, he has been a precinct captain. He's been an area chair. He has served on other committees. He's worked for primary candidates, general election candidates, and he carries our values as Democrats. He's now a school parent, and he has dug into, I can tell you, because I've talked to him many times, dug into the issues about the schools. He's become an advocate, and in 2016, last year, he co-chaired with Monique O'Grady our school bond campaign. That campaign won over 80% of the vote in Arlington County. It did better than all of our other bonds. He has been a champion for our schools. Right now, many of you know that our schools are growing and changing. And that means that on the school board and county board, we need to work collaboratively together in new ways. Our schools are growing. That means we have pressure for land that we have to grapple with together as partners across the school board and county board divide. We have budget. As our population is growing, our budget is growing on the school side, and that's something we need to grapple with our county board colleagues. We also know as a community that we need to support the whole child. That is not just something we can do 6 hours a day in schools. We need to do it across school and county as well. I know that Peter will be a champion for our schools. He will not, however, be a pushover. He will ask tough questions, but I know he will always be honest with me, and I look forward to working with him in that capacity. At the end of the day, Peter Fallon truly cares about this community. That is why he has committed so much of his time and taken on so many leadership roles in the community. And I'm very, very proud to support him. And I'm happy to introduce our next county board member, Peter Fallon.
Thank you, Barbara. Hello, Arlington Democrats.
Hello.
Hello. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Peter Fallon. And my family and I have lived here in Arlington for a long time. Teresa and I moved here about 31 years ago. We bought our home in Donaldson around about 25 years ago. And now we are the proud parents of 4-year-old Andrew and 8-year-old Alexandra. Alexandra goes to Taylor. And Andrew will be going to Taylor next year. So, as Barbara said, we have a capacity problem, and the Fallons are adding to it. Now, as you may recall, I've run for county board before, most recently in 2015. And I got some great endorsements: the Washington Post, the Sun Gazette, Blue Virginia, the Sierra Club, the Arlington Education Association, among others. But it didn't work out the way I wanted. Lost by about 400 votes. But, you know, Katie Crystal and Christian Dorsey are doing a fantastic job in the county board, and I am proud to be so proud of them. I hope to serve with them with your help. But now I'm running again because I love Arlington. I know that I have something valuable to offer Arlington. As Barbara said, I've been deeply committed and involved in many facets of Arlington's community. Delegate Rip Sullivan has described me as someone that lives and breathes Arlington. Our party chair, Kit Romanowski, recently described me as a social justice warrior. Now, I have a reputation for thoughtful and considered decision-making. I have been described by the Washington Post for being serious and substantive. I am collaborative in my approach to policy-making, but at the same time focusing on results and the impacts. I have the experience and stature to effectively represent Arlington on regional bodies. I am known for listening closely, asking tough, pointed questions, having a two-way conversation with people to best appreciate your viewpoint and to find common ground. Now, I'm known as an advocate for those without a voice, and for those who sometimes think the community process is very overbearing or hard to handle or lacks transparency or even is perhaps weighted against being fair. I am known as someone who gets things done. Now, with Jay retiring, we're losing 25 years of leadership.
One more minute.
Now, while Jay will be hard to replace, I have almost 30 years of active community engagement here in Arlington. I'm qualified to offer the leadership and commitment Arlington needs now. Now, let's face it, Arlington is a very fortunate place for most of us to live, but we have some real problems today. Arlington's problems, its biggest problems, are not necessarily all of our own making. We have an aggressive White House, we have a metro system that's on a downward slide, and we have increased competition regionally to fill empty office space. Other problems are really more directly related to our success. We have a chronic problem with school capacity. We have a housing market that is crushing families, young people, and seniors. We face unparalleled budget challenges. Our next county board member will have to deal with these issues on day one, and I have the experience needed to tackle these and working with you to get results. Now, we have neighbors in our community who don't know if their loved ones are still going to be at home tonight when they get there. Let me tell you a little story some of you probably don't know about me, or a little information. I'm the son of 2 immigrant parents, all right? And growing up in New York City, we lived in a neighborhood, New York has a lot of, ethnic type neighborhoods, that had a lot of people who were survivors of Auschwitz and other concentration camps. And when I was a little younger than my daughter is right now, I remember asking my mother, why did Mrs. Greenglass have numbers tattooed on her arm and not like to wear short sleeves? Well, I got a quick history lesson that the world is not always a nice place. So that's what my parents started to teach me, that it's everyone's job to stand up for the most vulnerable among us, to care about our neighbors, to stand up against hate, to use a democratic process to defend human rights, and to stick my neck out for what is the right thing to do, even when it's unpopular. And I will always be the one standing up as the most vulnerable in our community. Now, while local government can't solve everything, I will fight for you at all levels of government. Let me be your friendly ear on the county board. I promise my door will always be open. In fact, I will come to you. I will fight for you and the people of Arlington. I will hear you, I will advocate for you, and I will stick my neck out for you. Now again, my name is Peter Fallon, and I ask to be your first choice on the County Board Caucus in May. Thank you.